Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to demonstrate a procedural rock generator asset. This asset will be primarily for UE4. As you can see, it's pretty low res, so you can use it in your game projects. We're having about 5,500 polys. There's also an option to change to your custom poly count. You can go even further down and then just adjust your UVs to your liking. I'm just going to set it back to the default setting. But for now we're not using UVs and any materials. I want to show you the above modeling tab. For that we're going to disable use poly reducer and sorry, this is a bug actually. You have to disable UVs before disabling use poly reducer. So now you can see we're having a very dense mesh which has around 250,000 polys. You can play around with the height of the noise. So this asset actually works with noise inside of a v1.0 and it projects it onto your high-res mesh. There's also ways to adjust the element size to get some variations of your rock. Well, this also could be more of a lava scene. Also maybe try and reduce the noise scale to get a bit more smoother edges, I guess. But it depends. It's mainly for maybe a rough terrain like rock. You can also play around with the noise frequency, which should actually generate different random results as well. You can see the asset is pretty slow at this point because it does a bunch of calculations inside of the v1.0, and since the poly count is pretty high, so it depends on your machine. But this would be maybe an asset you could use in your CG projects for renders and so forth. But the idea behind this asset was actually for game dev people. So maybe in the future I will update this asset and make it more friendly also for CG renders and so forth. So now we're going to use the poly reducer again, and you can see it generates a nice smooth, I mean like even triangles throughout the rock. If we now use UVs, it actually also places the material onto your mesh as seen before. You can play around with the noise settings. It doesn't do the best job with auto UVing. That said, we have the labs installed. Please, if you use this asset, you have to install the Houdini labs, which you can find here, also in the tabs above. Side effects labs, it's under here, shelves, and then in side effects labs. We're using the auto UV and also the quick material. But as you can see, in this asset, it also has a material tab. This is the relative path inside of your UE4 project. I will do another video for this demonstration of how this asset performs in Unreal Engine. So once you're happy with this rock, you can use the scatter node, scatter option, and it will actually scatter your rocks around. There's a clone shelf appearing at the top here, so we can just play around with the rock, total amount of rocks, maybe with the rotation also. Yeah, the scale, obviously, and then the seed. There's maybe also more options or parameters to add to this asset in the end. Also, there's a ground foundation transform, which you can adjust here. Yeah, so it depends what you want to achieve, but it's basically just for terrain scattering. It's not perfect at this point, but it will be available on Gumroad and on ArtStation, so please feel free to support me. Thanks. Bye.